Hello, hello, this is Paulina from Art Stuff, and today I'm back with part 2 of the MOLOTOW markers. As you can see over here, we've got a few markers. We've got a TOOLI-Art, which is the one with the small nib, which is 0.7 millimeters. Then we got a big one, a medium nib, which is 3 millimeters, if I'm correct, from the TOOLI-Art. Then we've got an empty pump soft liner marker from the MOLOTOW series. They come empty and you can fill them up by yourself with one of their one for all refills, which was quite easy. That's what we did last time. So that's just plain black. Then I bought these two new. So this is the normal paint marker from them, also the one for all series, and it's a 2 millimeter round tip. So that's what we're going to look at today. And then this one is the dual tip one. So you get a big one on the bottom from 4 millimeter and a small one from 1.5 millimeters. So it's a lot bigger than that one. But the problem with this one is that it clogs up really easily and it's scratchy when you color with it. So we're going to do some tests with all of them to compare like the big nib from this one with that one. Compare the brush, how well it is still working after coloring some pages, because I used it on a lot of pages, so I can give you some more feedback on how it is like to use, you know, how well it is or how bad it is. That's what we're gonna find out. Okay, I'm a bit cold today, people. It's getting colder and colder here in the Netherlands. It's beginning to feel a bit like autumn. It's getting colder and wetter, you know? So that's what you feel, like the watery cold. That's what I feel today. So what we will do now is I will grab my sketchbook, which is right here for me, which is just a plain black sketchbook from Ohuhu, I think. Yeah, it's an Ohuhu one. It's just a square one, and it's really thick with white paper. So let's put this to the side. Open up my sketchbook. Then we find an empty page. Let's remove that one, and well, we can just use it over here because there's still empty space here. Doesn't matter that there's stuff next to it. So what I will do is I'm gonna test all of them out. I've got my little pump and test paper over here. I got a piece of cloth, like tissue paper, that I use to clean my TOOLI-Art usually. So that's what I have, and then I've got my paint markers. So this is what we're gonna do. I first have to put this up because otherwise I might make a mess of it. And then we're gonna activate my TOOLI-Art so we can see how it looks like after it dried up and how easy it is to use. So you have to shake it. You can hear the ball rolling. You gotta shake it quite some few times before it's completely like mixed up. Don't shake it too wild. I think that should be enough. Like you can see that it's still pretty full, this one. Then you take off the lid. You have to let the air out, so you press it down so the air can escape. And then like there's stuff coming off because it's not really that clean, see? Usually I would make this wet so I can clean it up, but it's really clean, as you can see. It's still really clean. And then let's test it. It's perfect. And then I usually just do like this. This is how I use it. This one goes down pretty smooth today, but if you do like a line next to it and it dries up, you will see how it looks like. So that's all we do for this one, and I'll close it again. So this one is flowing really nicely, but the problem with this one is that sometimes the nib, this one, is clogged for some reason. I don't know why. Sometimes it comes out really watery and runny, and it doesn't matter what you do with the pen, it's always like that. Even if you don't, like sometimes that happens if you shake too much, it overflows. But some even do it when you don't overshake it. They just run out no matter what. Even if you just take the lid off, they're already running. That's just the way some colors are. And others are way too thick and they don't come out at all. Even if you pump it 7,000 times, still doesn't work. It just flows over the nib. So instead of coming out here, you see the paint like coming there near the tip. And it's just filling up inside here with paint. And it doesn't work at all. It doesn't matter if you wash the tip, put in a new one, same issue. So it depends on the color you use. That's what my problem is with the TOOLI-Art and the structure. Like, I'm not sure if you can tell, but you can already tell it a little bit. Like if I do like that, you can see that it's a bit scratchy where they meet. This color is not that visible, but with darker colors it's a lot more visible. This is the black one, so it makes a lot more noise. So let me shake it out of away from the camera. It's almost empty, as you can hear. It becomes louder when it's more empty. That should probably be enough. Like, that comes off pretty easily. It's just some kind of felt tip. You see it has a weird texture. It also, if you are not careful, it can rip up the paper really easily because it feels a lot more wet. Let me just color 2 stripes as well, same as we did with the first one, and cap it. So you can see it's nice and flat, you know. So I'm gonna write down what is what so that you know it. So I'll write down Toolie 0.7 millimeter, Toolie medium. Not sure what the medium is. Let's see what the medium is. Medium doesn't say, it just says medium. Oh, it does, 3 millimeters. That's what we want to know. So that's TOOLI-Art. Then I've got a brand new one. That's not the one I want to do. I want to do this one again. But since I've used it now quite some time, I used it already in like 4 pages. And I can tell you that taking off this cap is much more difficult than I thought at first. Because when I tested it, it came off pretty easily. But now I really struggle with taking it off because it really sucks vacuum or something. I don't know. So usually now I just take like a piece of paper because otherwise I really have to hold it really tight. But because I have to pull so hard, I otherwise have it all over my hand. So now it can go there. As you can see, the nib looks okay at first glance, but let me show you. If you want to do a straight line, if it's still like enough paint, it works perfectly fine. But it has some pieces that are like hanging off, so it's not completely a point anymore. It's already raffling. I think that's the right word for it. And by pumping this, it also becomes really messy. So it's still working fine, as you can see, no problem. But if you do lines, they're not as smooth as sometimes as you want. Like some are okay, some are not. Even putting it up, see how much pressure I put just to put it on? That's what annoys me the most. It's really difficult to cap it and uncap it. And on top of that, this gets really dirty. You pump it in here, so you put like the pen and you can pump it so you don't damage the nib. Also gets really messy. And there's no way to tell which color you've got, except for that I labeled it over here. So I can't see if this is like stuck in my storage unit. I can't see which color it is. So you could put like some paint on the edge, but then still, you know, like not that handy. So that's also one thing that I don't like about these empty ones. But they're too hard for me to use and I don't like the nib. If you have a shaky hand, you get wobbly lines. Let's just say it. You get wobbly lines. But for big areas, it's really nice. But you need to pump it regularly if you do it for big spaces. That's my opinion about that one. Then we've got a big one from the MOLOTOW markers. It's a double tip one, like the twin marker they call it. And we got just the normal one, like the old-fashioned one. So we're first going to use this one. I don't want to... Let's shake it, because you always have to shake it first. You barely hear it compared to the other one. It's really a gentle sound. But you can hear it clearly. It's a white one. Like you can see that the paint looks really well here. It's much more visible than the TOOLI-Art in my opinion. It's a little bit bigger than the TOOLI-Art, like see? It's a little bit bigger in diameter, whatever you call it. And then you can take off the lid. That goes really smooth. Let me do that one more time. Yeah, that goes really nicely. Then this is the nib that this one has. It's a 2 millimeter nib, so it's pretty big still. Compared to that, it's big. So we gotta pump it. Let's see how much we need to pump it. Still no paint. Oh, there it comes. You see it coming. It's pulling up. Okay, let's bump it 2 more times. Usually that should do. Yes, there we go. Comes out really nice. It feels different. Let me see. You can hear the texture. Let me do it one more time on this, because that we can see. Let's see if it covers up this black and all of this junk. Ooh, not bad. Not bad at all, you see? That is not terrible. Even that is a nice laydown for one layer. That's not too bad, because these were dark colors like black and brown. I don't think that's bad for a white acrylic paint pen. But let's see how thick of a line we can get. How thick it is. Yeah, that's a pretty thick line. Compared to that, we should also do that with the TOOLI-Art. Let's make a line, because that's also something we want to know. How thin the lines can be. And for this one. And for the other one, we already did it. And the white we can see over here, because you can't really tell that there's white here. Like, it's already dry. That is quick. That was the white one. Then we're going to use the twin marker. You can really see like the paint over here, but because there are 2 nibs, like the barrel is only this big. So that's where the paint is. So I don't know how that goes with refilling them. Probably you have to take out the larger nib and fill it from that side, because it's easier to grab. I think that's the best way to do it. And you just fill it like from that side then, just like you would do with a different one. So let's shake this. Oh, this one is more noticeable because it's probably a bigger one. Okay, let's shake it. Let's see how this one works. I'm curious. I really like having a bigger nib and a smaller nib. The idea would be really handy for my Disney color by number. This comes off also pretty easily. See? Not too difficult. Okay, let's pump it. This is the big nib. No paint yet. There it comes. You can clearly see it coming. One more time. Probably one more. And then, yes, it's ready to go. Ooh, beautiful. Yeah, it feels nice. Okay, let's test it. Let's test it over here next to the white. And one next to it to see what the difference will be between the two. Make lines. This is the big nib, the 4mm, I believe. Yes, let's write that down. Oh, twin 4mm. Then we're going to try the other side. Also the same system with the nib. Let's pump it. This feels different than the other one. It feels more stiff for some reason, but maybe that's because the paint is not in there yet. Look, it's filling up. Lovely. Let's, ooh, that feels nice. Okay, let's put that to the right of this one. Let's just color it in like that. Looks really opaque and nice and red. Okay, let's fill up 2 lines. Yeah, you can already see that it also has some ripping of the paper because of the wetness. Okay, let's make a line. Perfect. And close it up. That is really easy. Okay, that is the, how big is the nib? 1.5. That's also the twin marker. So we got a twin. This is white, because we don't know what it is. It's a white. We can't see it. 2mm. We should stick this in, basically. Then you know what it is. And this was the empty MOLOTOW with black brush nib. Okay, so that is what we've got today. Oh, my eye is itching. Yeah, you can really see that this is like half the size of that one, roughly, if you look at it. So it's really nice and thin, but this one clogs up all the time. And this one felt really nice, but Now look at the texture. You can already see it, that this has the same issue as the TOOLI-Art. Like if you overlap it, you get like this scrunchy texture that almost as if the paper is a bit like, on that one you can see it really clear. So if it's a bit like damaged, but it's still a little bit wet. Like that one is dry, that one is dry, but you can also see like the paint dried up on top of it. See? I scratched it off. So it is definitely different. Like this is much more matte and this is more shiny, the black. Like this one is matte, this one is shiny for some reason. But yeah, I do like the way you've got a big nib and a smaller nib. Okay, let's see how it works in a Disney book, because that's also really important. This is just like the comparison of how it lays down in my sketchbook, which is perfectly fine. But we already know the negatives of the TOOLI-Art. Let's see what are the negatives of the MOLOTOW marker. So let's put this out of the way. I'm gonna grab my Disney book, which is this one. This is the one I'm filling up right now. I put some plastic on top of it. Like, yes, it looks ugly, I know. I covered it up, like, see? So it's it doesn't get that damaged. Like I already colored like a whole bunch in the front. And I was working on a page. Not that one, I was working on this one. Is there any red in this one? No, but there is red in this one. Let's see. This one has a whole lot of red because this is Ariel. So we can do number 9 because that's like red. So we can test our red over here. So we're gonna test this page. Where is my thingamabob? This one. I always place something behind it. So we're gonna do a test on this one. We're just gonna test it out on Ariel. Let me take a clip. Stick it down, because this is what I'm gonna use them for my Disney color by number. Okay, yeah, that should work. Just one is enough for today. Okay, we've got white to test. But there's not really white to cover, is there? Her teeth are already white. Number 2 is her tongue. Her eyes are blue and white, but what is this? I've written something down. Is there something wrong? Maybe it was the wrong number. No, probably not. That's probably a mistake by me. Oh, I understand why I written down. I wanted a different color than number 7. I wanted that, like, probably that color for the eyes. That's probably why I changed it to a 0. Okay, that's fine. Then we don't have to erase it. I will test my white over here because there's no numbers in here. You see what I mean? I don't know if that's supposed to be splatters. Let's have a look. If that's supposed to be white, number 37. One more. It's supposed to be like that. Oh, okay, so those are the water splashes. Okay, so we might be able to cover up, like these lines we can cover up with the white. Okay, we're gonna test that out. Okay, let me zoom you in. There we go. Let's test out the white on this little bit, because this bit should be completely white. So let's test out the 2mm nib to see how opaque it is on my book. Let's see if it's working. Yes, it's really wet compared to TOOLI-Art. Okay, let's just color it. See how I feel about this. This is also a good test to see how opaque it is after just one layer that you place down lightly like this. Then more, this is also white. Let's also color that in just for the sake of testing. So we've got a little bit more space covered. See how one layer works. If that works just fine, or if it's like not covering that much. Like you can already see that it's really white. Then we've got the red. The red is number 9, which is over here. So number 9 we can do. So we can do like the small nib. Which one is the small one? This one is the small one. So the gray side is the small one. Okay, good. Yeah, okay. I don't want to put my hand in there. So let's start here. Is this all number 9? Yep. Okay, let's see if this works. A little bit scared to use it. It's really wet compared to the TOOLI-Art. I'm just going to do the outline on the sides, and then I will fill in the middle. But I see this should be white again, so I should also make a line here and a line over here, one in the middle. Yeah, it's a lot more like liquidy compared to the TOOLI-Art paint. That one you can really feel that you're putting paint down. With this one, it's more like you're using water with a color. That's how it feels. It feels like you're ripping down the paper maybe a little bit if you color over something that's wet too much. Okay, let's test out the other side. See how that will work. Like, see how liquid? Let's just do one layer all over it. This is number 8, so don't color that. This is number 9. This is also number 9. Okay, let's color it like that. Okay, I think that's good enough. And now we'll let it dry and see what it looks like. If we like it. Like, I missed parts. You see, I missed parts. I colored it wrong. But the white looks okay. Let me pull my light a little bit closer. Like, the white looks pretty nice. For one coat, that's not too bad. I think if you really want it to disappear, you need to do another one. Let me try the TOOLI-Art white as well. I got also a TOOLI-Art white. Let's test that as well. Let's also do like that blob with the TOOLI-Art to see how it compares. This is still really wet. Okay, let's let the air out, clean it off. Okay, let's see if it works. Yes, it works really nice because this is a really small nib. It's a bit scratchy to use, but that's okay. Let's test it out. Let's just do it like that. It takes a lot more time because the nib is so small. But if you've got a really complicated and detailed page, you might want that. You know what I mean? But you can really hear the scratchy noise it makes. Okay, that's one layer of TOOLI-Art. It looks roughly the same in my opinion. Well, if you lay it down, it has the same shine through. It means it's roughly the same opaqueness. That's good to know. The red is still wet because look, it's still wet. You can see it like shining, glistening a little bit. Still not completely dry, but it looks pretty okay for a red. I don't have a really nice red in the TOOLI-Art because the one that's supposed to be red, like this one and that one, they don't always work as nice. Like, let's test that one, number 7, just for the sake of it. Like, not every red works really well. Some are really watery. I'm not sure if this is the watery one. Let's just shake it a little bit more. I want to make it a fair test, you know? Because this is like more white. This is more ivory white. It's a bit more yellowy. I don't know if you can tell on the camera. That looks nice. Okay, let's let the air out. Okay, clean the nib. It's already really clean. See how it works. Yes, it works. All right, let's do the strand of hair next to it. Like, this is a different kind of red, but it doesn't matter. Just to compare like what kind of red you get. Let's just only do this part because I'll have to come over with a different color if I decide on one or the other. Like, I like that one better for this. It's not the same. Like, this is how it should dry up. And maybe that one is more like the same shade, like number 20. Let's test number 20 as well from the Wildflower. Is this Wildflower? No, this is Earth. Wildflower number 20. That's this one. Let's test that one as well. Like, the ball gets stuck really easily on the TOOLI-Art. That's also one of the reasons why I don't like them. I'll have to see if the same happens with the MOLOTOW marker. That's just a matter of time before you know it. Like, this is really clean. Okay, let's let the air out. Clean it off. Test it. Nope, needs to pump it a little bit and it comes out. Okay, good. Let's test it next to it. Just for opaqueness levels, I'm putting this on. Like, it's still not the same. Looks really similar to that one for some reason. Like, this is the one, you know what I mean, that we tested. Maybe that one. Let's test that one as well, just for the sake of having all the reds next to each other that I own. These are the ones that I own from TOOLI-Art. And now the red from, what is the name of this? This is Traffic Red, they call this one. So it's a really dark red. Not like Fire Tower Red. This one is leaking a little bit. Let me let the air out again. Clean it. Test it. It's working great. Okay, let's color this bit. Yeah, this one is also really wet, you can see. Doesn't really matter, that's enough. None of them are the same as the MOLOTOW, the reds. Okay, that's good to know. Like, these are all different reds, but they look all really similar on the paper. It all looks like one and the same color to me when it's like this. Like, if I look from the side, I can see this is lighter. But these two, they look exactly the same. This looks more like a brown red. But it is almost dry. I can feel some texture, not too much. Like, if I feel this, I can feel texture. This one as well. Feels roughly the same. This also feels roughly the same. It has a similar texture, like by touching it. Let me pull you a little bit closer. You can see the texture as well. Like, it depends on the color whether or not you've got texture with the TOOLI-Art, but this one does have texture, but it's not like, it's a little bit shiny in my opinion, but this one is completely matte. It looks the exact same, only the TOOLI-Art looks a little bit whiter. This one looks a bit more off-white. It is strange to compare because it depends on how you look, because the top bit looks really white. This looks a bit more like off-white, and that looks like completely white. Not sure how to do it, but it did work really well. Like, I messed up myself by not coloring completely, you know. I missed some parts. Let's see how it works if I go over it with a small nib now without shaking. See how that goes if I want to touch it up. How will it look after 2 layers? Let's put another layer on top of this with a small one. See how that feels. Just for the sake of texture, to see how it would look. Just want to know, like, I will only do this bottom section. Let's try. Let's let it dry. It went down pretty okay. It didn't feel like really weird. You can see that it's now wet. Like, the damage to the paper that you see was already there because of the big tip. Like, the big tips are usually a lot wetter than the smaller ones. The same as with the TOOLI-Art. It has the same feel. But this one feels like, they feel the exact same, the big ones. Let me open them up for you. Like, this one comes off a lot less easy than this one. This one is easier. They've got a little bit of a different shape, as you can see. This one is more like round, like a rounded, and this is more like oval shape for some reason. I don't know. You can really see the difference in the nib. This one is more like really round, like a bullet, and the other one is more like, it tapers a bit. Good to know the difference, but the barrel is exact same, it seems. Or maybe a little bit bigger. Not much, not by much. So that's the difference between those two nibs. So for the test of like medium versus medium, if I can compare those two, they are both roughly the same. But I think they have the same issue with ripping up the paper because it's a bit wet. So you can't go over what you already did straight away. You've got to really work in layers if you want it like smoother. And you need to let it dry, just like the TOOLI-Art. So that's not the issue. I think they're just as opaque, both of them. Like, the red is less opaque for the TOOLI-Art, the ones that I own, which are these 3 colors. These 3 colors are the reds that I've got, and they are not as opaque as the TOOLI or the MOLOTOW. Like, I will show you the difference. Like, this was 3 different colors, so 1, 2, 3 different colors. You can all see the lines through it. On this one, you can only see like faint lines after 1 layer. This is 2 layers. I don't see the lines anymore over here. It's already dry as well, see? You can feel the texture now. Compared to that, it feels a bit more rough. Like, now it comes off because I rubbed it. So it needs to dry a little bit longer, but Yeah, it dried up really quick. That was my mistake by touching it too early. That's fine, you know, it doesn't matter. It was a test. So yeah, I'm really happy with the twin marker. I really like this one. I know they also got a smaller nib even, but that's the same as this one. So if I decide that I sometimes want to do like really small details, I could just buy some nibs and just put them on there, you know, on the small side, like this side, the one that has a small nib, because they're interchangeable if I'm correct, the nibs from the MOLOTOW. So because these ones clog up really easily. And you got to buy a whole new marker for these. Well, for these, you can buy refill systems. Let me show you one. Where is it? Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Like, I bought one for the black. I also showed you this last time. So this is what a refill looks like. This is the small one. And it has like a little... I shouldn't do this above my book, shouldn't I? It has this little like tip on it. And you... Ooh, fuck. Yeah, this is why I shouldn't do that above my book. Let me close it again. It's an air bubble coming out. But yeah, I don't think it's leaking. Okay. But you can basically just hold it upside down and squeeze it into the pen. It's really easy to dismantle it. I showed it in part 1. You can look at that if you want to know how that works. But you can buy refills for all the colors they have available. But I really like this one. I'm not so much a fan of the smaller one. Like, it's not more value for me to buy only these, because then I only have the smaller nib, which is almost the same size as this one. Like, this is smaller than the one you get with the normal one, because this is 1.5, this is 2. So I would prefer this one, because then you got 2 nibs in one pen, because you always need a big one and a small one for like these color by numbers. Sometimes you've got small sections, you want a small tip. If you've got big sections, you want the bigger one. So that is perfect if you have something like this. Yes, they're more expensive, but that's worth it to me. You know, you still have only one pen. And you can see the color name? No, not on this. I thought maybe it had stickers on top, but they don't. Let me see, it's just the M of MOLOTOW. But they do have a sticker on the end, like over here. That's good. Because I placed my my marker storage is based on this length, so it can like stick out about this much for the small one. So this will stick out, so I can read the numbers if that's the case. And otherwise I can just make 013 and stick it on there, you know, make like stickers myself and stick it on top of the MOLOTOW thing, or just take these off and make a new one. That's possible for me. I could even make like a circle with the color, but the barrel is already the color that it is, because see, it's almost the same. It's almost the same color in my opinion. Not exactly, but somewhat. I think I'm gonna buy these instead, because the TOOLI-Arts were like, the paint is nice as hell, but I dislike their nibs. Like, and I was thinking about maybe buying medium ones, but then I don't have the small one again, because their brush markers are apparently not the best from the TOOLI-Art, and they don't have them available for every line yet. So that's also a thing. Plus that I have to buy them from America, and I have to pay 30% taxes. That, like, tax is always a thing when you buy something overseas from Europe. Like I live in Europe. So if I buy something from TOOLI-Art, which is America, then I pay 30% extra, basically, to my own country, because I'm importing stuff from overseas. If I buy something from inside the EU, I don't pay that 30% on top. So these ones are from Germany. So if I buy this for like, say, $5, and this one is also $5, then this is like much more expensive than this one, because I have to pay 30% more. You know what I mean? And I can buy refills for this, which makes this even cheaper, because this one, you pay like a certain amount, and you can refill this so many times, depending on how much you can put in. And that makes it cheaper for me to use this, even though you got less colors with this than with the TOOLI-Art. I can also make my own. I can even buy empty ones with this model, with the 2 nibs, and make my own mixture with like the refill bottles. Test it out first, you know, on a palette with some drops. Test out which colors I can make, and then fill them up with the ones I'm missing. So that's my plan. I am really convinced now that I want the twin markers. Like, look at this. Now that it's dry, it feels really nice. And you can't see the lines anymore on the double layer. Like, even the one layer, I've got trouble seeing it. Like, for the white, it's roughly the same. So I assume that almost every color will have the same, like, layering capacity as the TOOLI-Art paint. So I think they're roughly the same in quality, which is good, people. So that means if you're in America, you can still use your TOOLI-Art perfectly fine, because it's awesome paint, you know. But the MOLOTOW is more for, like, people that have more money to spend. They can go maybe for the MOLOTOW marker if they are not using like Guangna or you name it, whatever they have. Because I like to have the same colors for my color by numbers, so that I can just take my overview and like, oh, I want that color. And if it's like empty, I can just buy a new one. You know what I mean? That's what I like. So this, my friends, is a success. Like these ones, the brush ones, not so much. I would not recommend it unless you like this kind of stuff. Like, it's really flimsy, this one. It's not stiff. It's really bendable. So if you're even, like, if you don't have a really steady hand, you get like jibbery jabbery lines if you want them really small. If you just place it on the paper and just pull, then it's pretty okay. But then it's a lot thicker than, like, for instance, when you do it with this one. So it's thicker. Then it's almost comparable to, let me show you the sketchbook again. Then it's more comparable to this or to this, as if you have the big one. So like this line, you see? That's when you have the most control with the brush nib, when you just pull it while you have it on the paper. This, you have to really try your best. You see how wiggly that is? And that's even a good attempt. If you're even a little bit shaky, it's like a jaggery line. You don't want that. So I would not recommend the brush tip unless you like this, like, stuff. I thought I liked it, but I don't like how stiff it is to take it off. Taking this tip off is too much for me, and I don't like the messy bit over here. I just don't like it. It's not pleasing to look at. While if I see this, I'm like, oh, how nice, how pretty, you know? That's my review for this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed me testing this out for you. So let me know your thoughts about me comparing TOOLI-Art and the MOLOTOW markers for you. And if you also would like to try them out, like, would you try the MOLOTOW or you will still stick with the TOOLI-Art? Let me know. Because I do like both of them. The only reason I want to step away from the TOOLI-Art is because of tax and because of this stupid small nib that keeps clogging and the rolling ball that gets stuck. I hope this one doesn't have that same issue, because this is a much bigger barrel. I don't think it gets stuck that easily as in this one. So I think that could save me from the issues that I had with the TOOLI-Art. So I will let you know if I've colored with this for a little while. I will let you know if it still functions the same way as I did with it today. Hope you think this was helpful. Let me know. And if you have any other questions about them, also let me know. Because I have money saved up to buy a set of acrylic markers. Because these are not cheap, people. They are not cheap. I think they've got 73 colors in the MOLOTOW set. So I want to just buy the full set. And then I will slowly buy my refill system. So I will just buy a few at a time and work my way up from there. But then at least I've got all the markers. But I will wait for a nice deal with maybe Black Friday or just another sale that they have somewhere along the way. Alright, and I've got an extra clip for you. I looked up the prices for the TOOLI-Art compared to the MOLOTOW markers. And I've written some stuff down. Now, what I have here is the price for people in Europe. So for Americans, this is probably different. So this, from TOOLI-Art, you can buy their pens in sets. You get usually a set from around 30 markers or 36, depending on which set you buy. But if I look at the essential set, it doesn't matter if you buy it in the fine nib, the medium nib, or the brush nib. They all cost around €40 for 30 paint pens. So that is not too bad. That is including the tax, it says on the website. So if you order, yes, you get shipping costs, blah, 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 but you will not have to pay extra tax when it gets into the country. They already pay it for you. So that's included in this price. That's good to know. That's also the same price that Dutch stores have if you look it up. So that's good. Then for the refills, you can get them in packs of 3 pens, which you pay somewhere in between 13 euros to 14 euros. And if you calculate it to per pen, you pay 4.33 per pen to 4.66, depending on which color you want. So that is for the TOOLI-Art. They also have an extra fine nib that is a round nib, the same as what the twin marker had. I'll show you, like this kind of nib. They also have that for the TOOLI-Art separately that you can buy, which is like a pack, and you pay like 5 euros for that. So, and you could place them in the fine, like in here. You can take this out and you can place like a round nib from 1 millimeter in there. So that's also good to know in case you don't want to use this. So that is a different option for our friends in America, or the people that still want to use the TOOLI-Art. That's also a really good replacement for the 0.7, because the 0.7 sucks. That's what we have established. Then for the MOLOTOW, you can buy them just separately. Then you can buy one of these with, yeah, I written now 1.5 millimeter, but you can buy them in 2 millimeter, 1.5, I believe, 4, and something else. But they are like per piece, they are 4.95, which is roughly the same as what we pay for the refills from the TOOLI-Art. But the twin pen, which is the one with the 2 nibs, you pay 5.95 if you buy them separately. Then for the entire set of this, with all the colors, which are 74 colors, you pay 350 euro. And if you want a full set of this, you pay 245 euros. So that's the difference for that. But this is the part that is interesting, because once you got your full set and you want to refill any one of them, you can buy a refill bottle for 30 milliliters for this amount, 6.95. If you calculate it to how many times you can fill one of these, I will put them the other way around because that's how I've written it down. Like the twin marker, which is this one, has a barrel, like this barrel contains 5 milliliters. This one contains 8 milliliters, so it has a bigger barrel for paint. That means that the twin marker, this one, we can refill 6 times with this one refill, which would then mean that you only pay €1.16 per refill for that one. And you can do that 6 times. So that's a lot cheaper than if you have to pay this every single time. And you need to buy 3 pens from one color if you do that. Otherwise, you will have to go back to buying a set again, which is also not cheap. So you see, for the TOOLI-Art, you keep paying full price basically. While with the MOLOTOW, you pay full price the first time. And then for the refill, yes, it's an investment to pay €7 per color. But in the end, it's much cheaper. See? So for this one, it's a bit more expensive because you can refill it less times. You see, 3.75 times. So that is why for Europeans, this one is great. And this one is like great for Americans because they probably pay a lot less than this that we pay in euro. And for them, this will be more expensive because they have got taxes as well. So that's what I wanted to add in case people were interested in that, as to why I'm going with the twin marker instead of the TOOLI-Art. Because I could have just bought nibs if I really wanted to. You see, then I could have just stayed with the system I had. But I don't want it because of this. Because I want it future-proof. And then this is much more appealing. And you can also buy like separate nibs for this. Also, you can just buy an empty twin marker or just a separate pen if your pen is like... They say you can fill this 50 times before it breaks down. And if your nib needs replacement, you can buy those separately as well, just like with the TOOLI-Art. So they've got similar systems, just a little bit different. This is more cost effective for European people. So yeah, that's all I wanted to add in. So that is all I've got to say for today. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!